Enigmatic E.
Hey everyone, today we're going to be testing this new feature that Premiere Pro has. At least it's the beta version of Premiere Pro. It has this new feature where you can extend the clip and it uses AI to fill in those extra frames that didn't exist before. Let's say you want a certain clip to last a certain amount of time. With this feature, you're supposed to be able to extend it, and then you should have the length that you need for that specific edit. And that could be very useful if it works well. So we're going to test it to see if it actually works really well or not. And the way you have access to the beta version is if you have a Creative Cloud, you just come here to where it says apps, and then you go to beta, and then look for Premiere Pro, and then I already installed it, so it's ready to go. So that's how you install it. Here it's showing us a little bit of how it's supposed to work. This little icon right here, we click on that and then we extend it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me create a project. All right, so it might not be ideal for something like this, but we'll see. Okay, you can create new ways with generative AI technology. Some features may use cloud processing. So we should be able to just extend this. Okay. 1920 by 1080, 12. Okay, so it doesn't do vertical, it only does horizontal. So that's good to know. There's already some issues that I'm encountering. So it only works with a clip that is 1920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720. And so I thought, okay, let me change the sequence settings. And I changed the sequence settings to 1920 by 1080, but it doesn't work. So the actual clip has to be 1920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720. Okay, that's kind of annoying, but this is the beta version, so maybe that will change. All right, so, okay, now I'm hoping this should work. It might not be meant for something like this, but I always like to test extreme situations. This is the actual clip right here, right? Let's say I need something that's like 5 seconds, right? Like I need this clip to be 5 seconds. It can't be any shorter than this, but this is the only clip I have. Let's come here. All right, let's extend it to 5 seconds.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so this is done. This took almost 2 minutes to generate, so it's not something that it's not a quick thing. So just be aware of that. And also, I can only extend it to a certain amount. It doesn't seem like you can just extend it as much as you want. So let's see what it does. Oh, okay. So that's what it's doing. Okay. What it seems to be doing, it doesn't change anything from where this clip ends, right? From here, everything stays the same. The only thing that it tries to do from here on is just add something that's similar to what was before. And as you can see, it looks like just blurry hands. I think it's trying to mimic, somehow it's trying to mimic what it saw over here. I can see how like the body movements, the head, it looks pretty good. The only thing is the hands. But you know, I think I see the use for this because the example you're seeing here on X is a walking cycle. Like right now, you see this? They say, okay, we want to extend this part. It's too short. We want him to walk all the way across. So, okay, so it just, okay, yeah, I see what it does. So it's not even interpolation. It's something different than that. This is probably not the ideal kind of clip that I should be using. Let's say I shot this footage and only 5 seconds is actually good footage. Everything else sucks. All right, so let's go ahead and extend this. It extends it about 2 seconds, it seems like, which can be very useful when you're editing because sometimes you just need a clip to just be a little bit longer so that it can fit within the music or just the timing of the edit. I'm sure some of you have shot footage yourself or someone gave you some footage where it's just, hey, if you give me just one or 2 more seconds, then this would fit perfectly, you know? All right, so let's try this. Okay, another thing we're gonna test out after this is audio because I think it also, let's say this video footage had footsteps. I think it would generate the footsteps for this too, I think. Because down here it says AI generated. So let's play that back. Okay, so originally the clip ends at this point. So anything from here is AI. All this is AI. It looks great, right? That's real, and then AI kicks in right there. Which is I think for this, it's really good. I just wish I can extend it a little bit longer, but I know this is the beta. Hopefully with the real version, we can extend it like 5 more seconds, and then it's still walking, and you're still seeing the background move behind him. That's when I think it's going to be extremely useful for something like for walking or something like that. So here I added some ambient sound, and now I want this clip to be also extended slightly, and let's see what it does with the audio and with the clip. So he's feeding the kid. Okay. So I noticed a difference right away in the audio. It sounded way more muffled when with the AI did. It didn't sound that great. So I guess you could technically just generate again, I guess, and then see what it does with the audio. Okay, yeah, it doesn't sound good. It has like this weird yeah, like a little bit of a clipping sound at some point. It sounds a little muffled, but then the actual AI video, let's see how that looks. Okay, I do notice also a change in color. I noticed that it gets a little bit brighter. I don't know, I can see it clearly, but I don't know if you can see it through the screen. Let's see, this is before and then AI. Yeah, the color slightly changes. That's kind of annoying that it does that. I think another great thing you can do for this is just like, I don't know if you've ever tried to edit anything at the beginning or the end of the clip and you want to do like a transition or something. Let's say you have this clip, right? And you have it all the way to the end. And you want to make a transition with this one, right? If you try to create a transition, it says insufficient media. This transition will contain repeated frames. Doesn't work, right? So, but if you use the generative extend tool, then you have these extra frames here to work with, and then you can do this, right? And I'm assuming you can also extend it this other way, right? Let's see. Yeah, you can also extend it here from the beginning. And I can see this really being useful for transitions where you want to use that first frame and you don't want to cut a second or two later for the transition to work. You can just extend this with the generative extend tool, and then you can do it for both clips and then create a transition that way. So you can still retain those first frames that you want to keep in the edit. So for example, this clip right here, I added, you see here, generative AI. This is all the AI before the clip starts, which is right here. And of course you do notice that change in color slightly, but if you are to use this, you put these together like this, and you got that first frame still there, and now you use a transition, right? I think even with the change of color, when you're doing the transition, it's probably not as noticeable, which is still useful. But I am pretty sure, at least I'm hoping, that they are going to fix that, because let's say you're not doing a transition, then it's not going to be a good thing that suddenly the color shifts slightly. But yeah, for something like this, it works so perfect. I mean, the actual movements of the people looks quite natural. The color shift is what kind of messes it up, but overall, it doesn't have that weird, uncanny AI look that you typically get with like realistic looking video generations. So another thing that I noticed, and we read about that earlier when we opened up Premiere, is that when I turn off my Wi-Fi, and I was kind of curious about this because I was wondering if it was using the internet, and I think it is using the internet. So this kind of sucks too. Oftentimes when you're editing, sometimes you don't have access to internet. Sometimes you're just like on your laptop and you're editing. But yeah, maybe that's just the nature of generative AI. You always have to have access to internet, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so that is the generative extend tool. I'm sure there are so many different use cases for this. I think I've done a few examples that I think shows off what is possible, and I think that you can try it out for yourself. So with the AI, you can extend videos by 2 seconds. You can extend audio, I believe 10 seconds. You need internet access. There's a slight color shift in the AI portion of the video, and the AI audio extension doesn't seem to always work that well. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm sure there's going to be some improvements. Hopefully in a few months we get to see the final version and see how much it improves. But until then, thank you for watching. Take care. Talk to you later. Peace.